Hello and welcome back to my channel eMaths, and the topic for today is decimal fractions. So first of all, I'm going to tell you the basic concept of decimal fractions. So a fraction whose denominator is 10 or a higher power of 10, that is 100, 1000, 10,000, etc., are known as decimal fractions like 4 upon 10, 4 upon 100, 7 upon 1000, and so on. These all are known as decimal fractions. As I'm starting this topic from the scratch, so let me tell you what are the decimal places first. So I'm going to write down a number. Let me say 342.6. So this part is known as the integral part, or you may also say it as a whole. Whereas the part that is after the decimals is the decimal part. This is the decimal part. So when we see this number, we are going to read it as 342.678. Make sure whenever you are reading a decimal number, you are reading the digits which are after the decimals separately. You have to read them out separately. So this will be read out as 342.678. You cannot say 678, otherwise it will be totally wrong. So this is how we write the number name of any decimal number. And the number of digits in the decimal part are known as the decimal places. Like here we have 1, 2 and 3. 3 digits, that means this number is having 3 decimal places. Now let's talk about like and unlike decimals. Like and unlike decimals. We have studied about like and unlike fractions in which the denominator have to be same. Now you must be wondering, how can we write like and unlike decimals? How can we make it out whether they are like or unlike? So for that you just need to see the decimal places of the numbers. Like I'm going to write certain numbers. I've taken these 3 numbers, all are having decimal places. Now if you see the first number, we have only 2 decimal places. In this one we have 3 decimal places, and in this one I have 4 decimal places. So I can say that all these are unlike decimals. Now to make them like decimals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the number having the maximum digits in the decimal part. So we have the last number which have the maximum number of decimal part. So that means to make these other 2 numbers like, I am going to add on zeros at the end of the number. So here we have only 2 decimal places. To make it 4, I'll just write down 0.2300. Similarly, the next number will become 12.2310, and the last number will remain same as it is already having 4 decimal places. Now if you see these numbers, all these numbers are having same number of decimal places, which means all these numbers are like decimals. So the only thing to keep in mind while making like decimal is to see the decimal part only and to check whether all of them are having same number of digits or not. If they are not, you can make them like by just adding on zeros at the end. Make sure you're adding the zeros at the end, because that will not change the value of the actual number. This number is actually 0.23 only. But since we have made them like, we have added zeros at the end of it. That's how we make unlike decimals into like decimals. Now let's see how can we convert fractions into decimal fractions. I have written down certain fractions having different denominators, and if you see the denominators, these are all in either 10 or higher power of 10. Okay, higher power of 10 means 10, 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 3, which are equals to 100,000 and so on. The number of zeros keeps on increasing as you just increase the power of the 10. Alright. Now, the first rule to keep in mind is whenever you are converting a fraction into a decimal fraction, you just need to see the denominator. If it is a 10 or any higher power of 10, then you just need to count the number of zeros in the denominator. That will give you the number of decimal places in the answer. If it has only 1 0, that means your answer will have 1 decimal place. Okay, so 1 decimal place will be coming out from the numerator only. That means your numerator has to be there in the answer. Your numerator has to be there in the answer. Now you have to put a decimal point. This numerator was having one digit already and we need 1 decimal place. So we'll put a decimal just before that 7. And then you can put a 0 before the decimal, which will not change anything. It will remain 0.7 only. So that's how we write any fraction as a decimal fraction. So that's the answer for the first part. Make sure you're writing the numerator as it is and then putting up the decimals according to the number of zeros. In the second part, we have 343 upon 100. Now we have 2 zeros here. That means our answer should have 2 decimal places. But again, we need to write down the numerator as it is. So we have written it down. Now as per the question, we have 2 zeros in the denominator. That means our answer is going to have 2 decimal places. We are going to start counting from the right and move towards the left. 1, 2. So here I am going to put up the decimal. So our answer is now having 2 decimal places, which we have got from the 2 zeros. These 2 zeros gives us the number of decimal places. So this is the answer for the second one. Now this is 3 upon 1000. Now this one is having 3 zeros. That means my answer should have 3 decimal places. Now let me write down the numerator as it is. I have to get 3 decimal places because my question is having 3 zeros in the denominator. So my answer should also have 3 decimal places in the answer. But I have only one number in the numerator. What to do then? Just add up 2 zeros. Now when you count, you have 1, 2 and 3. Then you can put up a decimal and this is your answer. That's how we convert any fraction having 10 or higher power of 10 into decimals. Make sure that now when you're converting a fraction into decimal fraction, you're putting up the 0 if the numerator is not having that many number of digits that are required. So you can add on zeros just before the digit and then put up the decimal point. This is how we convert a fraction into a decimal fraction. Alright, now I've written few more questions. In these, we don't have the denominators as 10 or higher power of 10s. But if we see the denominators, we can make them 10 or higher power of 10s. As we have already studied about equivalent fractions, so here we are going to apply that. Now, as we all know that 4 when multiplied by 25 will give us 100. So we are going to multiply this 1 upon 4 by 25 upon 25 in order to get a denominator as 10 or higher power of 10. So 100 is a higher power of 10. Now this can be easily written as decimals, which is going to be 0.25. Just by counting the zeros, you can put up the decimal in the answer. That's how we have got 0.25. Now here we have 6 upon 8. Now there are two ways. Either find out a multiple, an equivalent fraction having 10 or higher power of 10. There is no number which when multiplied by 8 can give you a 10. And even 100 cannot be get if we multiply 8 by any number. But yes, if we multiply 8 by some number that will give us 1000, we can do that. Or there is one more way which I'll tell you later on. So let me do it like this. 6 upon 8 when multiplied by 125 will give us the denominator as 1000. In case if you don't know what is the table, that how will we get 125 here, you can just divide 1000 by 8. And also if you remember the divisibility rule of 8, if it has 3 zeros at the end, if any number has 3 zeros at the end, those numbers are divisible by 8. So we have got this. 8 into 125 is 1000. Now 6 into 125 is 750. We can cancel 1 0 here. Now again we need to have 2 decimal places because we have 2 zeros here. So our answer is going to be 0.75. There is one more example. 8 upon 250. Since 25 forza is 100, so that means 250 forza is going to be 1000. So I'm going to write that. That means 4 upon 4, which will give you 32 upon 1000. I have 3 zeros in the denominator. That means I need to have 3 decimal places in the answer. But I have only 2 digits in the numerator, which I'll write down as it is. So to make it 3 decimal places, I'll just add on 1 0 here and put a decimal point here. That's how we can make such numbers decimal numbers. Now the next question that I have written is conversion of decimal fractions to fractions, and for that I have again written certain numbers. Now let's see how can we convert any decimal number into a fraction. Now that also depends on the decimal part. Whatever the decimal part is will decide our denominator. So here we have 2 decimal places. That means we are going to have 2 zeros in the denominator. Now again, one thing to remember, the numerator has to be written as it is. You are just going to make a fraction here. You will write the numerator as it is. You can ignore this 0 because this 0 doesn't have any value as it is before the decimal point. So just count the decimal places. It has 2 decimal places. So that means this is going to have 2 zeros here in the denominator. Now here. Now if we again see these zeros doesn't make any sense. So we'll only write this 21 upon, but this 0 makes sense if we see the decimal part. It has 3 decimal places. So we are going to write 3 zeros. And that gives us the fraction for this number. Now moving on to the last part, I have written 1.75, which is again going to be written as 175. Remember, we have to write the entire number. So I have written that number, but the decimal places are only 2. So we are going to write only 2 zeros in the denominator. Also to remember one thing, that if these fractions can be reduced in the lowest term, you have to do that. This has to be done. So let's do it. This can be written as 21 upon 50. These cannot be cancelled. We don't have any common factor between them. This can be cancelled by, if you know the table of 25, go ahead, you can do it with 25. If you don't know, then you can just break 25 like 5 into 5. You can do twice, thrice, as many times as you want. So 25 sevens are and 25 fours are. So we have reduced our fractions also into the lowest term, and that's how we convert any decimal fraction into fractions. So that's all for today. We'll continue with more on decimals in the next video. Keep watching, keep learning. Have a good day.